Jim, welcome to Queen's Park. Are you pleased to get the deal done?
Yeah, I mean it's something that came right out of the blue, to be honest with you. We got the call from Sean, but yeah, I mean once you see the facilities and you want to get yourself back involved, and it was a tremendous opportunity, and I'm really appreciative of Sean for giving me that call.
You've got an existing relationship with Sean from your past. What?
Well, obviously I had Sean as a player,
Yeah.
at Morton a few years ago. And then he came as a young coach as well, just towards the latter stage of my tenure at Morton. And like everything else, you just kind of keep in touch with people, from a distance really, not like all the time. But, you're aware of, a young coach starting out. There's obviously other players that you've worked with as well. And you're always looking for young coaches and that to step up. And Sean's got a great opportunity here at Queen's Park as manager. And as I said, I'm absolutely delighted that he's invited me along to be his assistant.
Sean started his coaching career quite early. Did you notice the coaching credentials that he had from a young age?
I think as a player you would notice that. I think you tend to notice it with certain players. Listen, there's always one or two surprises. There's guys getting into coaching, you think they'll never do that. But from Sean, yeah, he was always a good talker, good organiser, very vocal. Really great about in the dressing room, mixing amongst the players. He was a captain, of that, and you tend to find that boys like that will look to get into coaching and management. And as I said, and to get the head coach job at Queen's Park for his first real opportunity is a fantastic chance for him.
So when that call came from Sean, was it quite an exciting one then for you to link up with him again?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously I've been out of the game now for a little while, the longest actually in my life really, if the truth be told. And I didn't really think that you get to a certain stage and you've got to be realistic and think, well, football maybe have just that may be something that I have to look to say I had a chance at it, I had enjoyed it, a fantastic time, but it's time to move on to other things. But when you get the call, the juices start flowing again, the adrenaline starts going, the excitement, that thrill of being involved with players again in the dressing rooms, on the training pitch, in the dugouts, you just can't beat it.
And you'll be adding to your extensive experience as well in the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sean's the head coach. It's his job, and he's the decision maker, and ultimately, he's the guy that make all the big calls. But I would like to think, you can give pointers when required. But as I said, I've been an assistant several times over the years. The biggest thing you need from an assistant is the manager has to is trust, and that he can work with the players. And if there's things that I feel that are important, I'll speak to Sean privately about it. But overall, I'm just really looking forward, as I say, to getting in amongst the players again and listen, enjoying something that I've done for the vast majority of my adult life.
I suppose you can lend him your experience, but you also were a young coach yourself when you started out in coaching, so you know what he's going through. Yeah,
I mean, I was 29 when I got my first job as a manager, so at Falkirk many years ago. So I mean, of course, there's no formula for management. You can be a young manager. You look at the experienced managers this year. There's been two managers, very experienced managers, John McGlynn and Dick Campbell. No one more experienced than those two guys who have got promoted, and as we speak today, Davy Martindale's another very experienced manager still in the fight for promotion. And then there's obviously very young managers that can come in and do well, like Broth this year and Peter Head be young managers. So there's not a formula that someone can say, oh, this will be successful and this won't be. But from Sean's point of view, he's on the first rung of a ladder, and hopefully he can stay on that ladder, because it's a very difficult and precarious occupation nowadays, but one I'm sure he's going to get into with absolute 100% commitment.
You've had a look around the facilities here at the City Stadium. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely top class. I mean, that's the thing, that when, if you have got any doubts at all about maybe getting back to football, you go to the training ground and then you come to the stadium, and then all of those go away in a millisecond, because they're absolutely fabulous. Top class pitch, magnificent pitch. And again, I know everyone says it, but if you can't enjoy playing the pitch like that, then you shouldn't be involved in football.
So you'll just be looking forward to getting out on the training field at Lock-Inch and then getting games here?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to start obviously, relatively early June because the cup starts very very early in July or mid-July. So we have to get ready. Obviously, there'll be some players left. There'll be new players coming in, and try to strengthen the squad and try and make sure we can be as competitive as we possibly can be, and which is probably the most notoriously difficult league in Scottish football. It's always immensely challenging, but again, it's one we're looking forward to.
It's off. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.